Hello. Oh, here we go. So, just want to do a quick diddly, quick little diddly. Was there a card that flipped over? It felt like it, yeah. Here we go. The Tower. Come on, son. We don't take cards that flip anyway. We take cards that fall out. So, anyway, I also kind of wanted to just do potentially the last reading on this specific table. I have a new table coming today. This is like my everything table. It's not just for tarot readings. Is this 3 cards? That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So, I mean, you can just kind of see that it's like scuffed up, you know. So anyway, I got a new one. How do we want to... I feel like any way we go, we're going to go this way because this was on the top, kind of technically. How beautiful is this? Are you joking right now? Do we have room? Yes. Because look who's on the bottom. Hold on. Let me get this shit together here. Okay. Bear with me. I swear. I will get it together at some point. Thank you for being here. Like my Taurus sun wants this to look so good. And my Virgo moon is like, you know, I want it to be perfect. And okay. So beautiful. I know I say that every time. We have the High Priestess, the Fool, the Queen of Pentacles, which is the only minor arcana out here on this table, and then the Star card. The Chariot behind there. The Moon. I feel like, you know, I feel like there kind of keeps coming these messages about like hope, keeping the faith, trusting the process. The High Priestess is tied to Pisces, I believe, and Cancer, because I think she also has a relation to the moon. It's water, nonetheless. And we're in Aquarius season here. The Fool, I think, is air. And obviously, I mean, you know, Aquarius is an air sign, and this is the only earth card that we have out. Okay, let's just... Let's just start from the beginning here. The High Priestess talks about... I see the High Priestess as like our star player. It's our connection to our higher self. You know, I mean, it could be, of course, connection to source, divine, God, you know, whatever kind of higher power you associate with, if you associate with a higher power, but it has to do with intuition, a little bit of fate, which also, you know, the Star card has to do with. But in this depiction of the High Priestess, which I love, you know, we have this being here. I mean, you know, just by the looks of it, it's a feminine. But, you know, they have this book here. And it's almost like, to me, I always get this feeling of your destiny or your fate or, you know, the reason why you incarnated into this place at this time. Because we also have this swaddled baby here. So it's like, you know, contracts, even if you believe in soul contracts, you know, there's that belief that before our soul, you know, kind of comes to this plane, we have this contract. This is what we are coming here to accomplish, what we're coming here to learn. It could even have to do with your North Node, if you know where your North Node is in your natal chart, because I mean, there's even, you know, the natal chart right there. Very interesting. It's like coming up on a time of destiny. Like if you've been wanting that, like if you've been even surrendering to what your destiny is or what your purpose is. And I feel like a lot of us, or at least maybe it's the content that I'm seeing because I'm interacting with, or whatever, and of course just what's been going on over the last 3-4 years, right? Like really being faced with, what is the point? Like, what is my point? So again, just this feeling of destiny. What do I want to do? How do I want to spend my energy? This could even just be something, like I said, kind of a Pisces vibe coming up here. And that could even just be because we're in Aquarius, and obviously next is Pisces. I think it's awesome that they both showed up. So I definitely think that there is something to that. Or maybe that's why I'm seeing the High Priestess, or I have that feeling of the High Priestess being associated with Pisces, because that's coming up. Regardless, there's a message in everything. My point being, there could be something really starting to unfold in Pisces season, or the closer that we get to Pisces season. All planets are direct now until April. And I don't know about you, but for me, it has not really felt like things have, because you hear, oh, there's no planets in retrograde, so, things are really going to start moving forward. That has not been my experience. My ass has been thoroughly kicked this week. And it just kind of seems like any movement forward that I try to make is just like I'm not making any forward progress in the ways that I want to, right? Because I want to be controlling of what I do. And, that's a sticky place to be, because the more you try to be controlling, the least control you have, right? So anyway, all of that is to say, with this Fool card here, this has this feeling of, you're going to start noticing that things are going to start moving forward. And I absolutely love how this Fool card comes after, because, thinking about purpose, destiny, like what is truly authentically in alignment with me. And that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of deconditioning. It takes a lot of peeling back all of the layers that we've picked up along the way from, childhood to wherever you're at now. It takes a lot of work to take those layers off, to peel them back, to discover what is truly yours and what is not. So, depending on, you could be anywhere in that process and this would still be relevant. And we have the Fool card, which is a leap of faith, but it's that moment that you decide to go for it, because this figure isn't all the way off the cliff, right? But there does seem to be this essence of commitment. We don't see them hesitating, right? It's like there's really no stopping the momentum of this right now. At this point in their posture, in their movement, even if they were to put this foot back on the ground, they would still probably fall forward, because, like I said, like at this point, there's no stopping the momentum. And sometimes that's a good thing. Like sometimes, not having a choice is better than having a choice, because, like for me, for instance, if I had a choice, I would choose to hesitate in most cases. I would rather be at a point where I don't have a choice rather than to move forward. It could have something to do with adrenaline. It could, like whatever it is. I prefer to not have a choice. And even, you know, like the little steps that we make, right? I mean, they may seem small or insignificant sometimes, but they lead up to getting to this point where there is no turning back. You can't unsee something. You can't unaware yourself of something, right? Like once you get to a certain point of awareness, it's like you can't go back. I tried because oh my God. Sometimes I would love to, but other times I don't, you know. And look at, you know, like there's only this little bit of baggage coming with. I love how even there's this relation between this moon down here and the moon up here, even this relation between this moon, and this is also very connected to moon energy, the High Priestess. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles having to do with our money, our time, resources. The Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing. I mean, just look at the way that they're holding this pentacle here. We have this dog cuddled up. I mean, like there's this comfy aspect to it, but it's also, with it being the queen, I see the queens as us recognizing and accepting the energy within ourselves. This is, you know, discovering your worth, but discovering your worth, you know, monetarily, like tangibly. There's nothing wrong with that. You should absolutely know your worth and your value and charge accordingly. But also, you know, this doesn't necessarily come from a place of ego. This doesn't come from a place of greed. It's not, you know, try to get as much as I can for as little as possible, you know, which again is also not a terrible thing depending on where your intentions are. This could be getting to a point of security, like this whole situation here. Obviously, you know, this Fool is walking towards this Queen of Pentacles here. It could be providing for family, and of course family can be chosen or biological. It could have to do with community. You could be wanting to influence, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like have a legacy that has to do with children, like pass some sort of knowledge on to children or just a younger generation. This is, you know, also very independent. So just making sure, you know, if you are single, it's, you know, making sure that your own foundation, your own security is taken care of, and taken care of well, not wanting for anything. But also even like understanding the mechanism or like the energy of money, time, your energy, like how important it is to be purposeful and intentional with where you spend your time or your energy, and also how you're getting it in return. Like how are people returning your energy? What benefit are you getting from those things? And then we have this Star card here. Like I said, this could be something that you've been trying to manifest for a while. But, you know, the Star card talks about being the center of attention. It could have to do with social media. It's also about faith. Like I said, trusting the process. I see the Star card as being that literal space between manifesting in like the 5D or the ethers and pulling that down into the 3D, into the physical world. This could even have to do with your health, your physical body, making sure that you're nurturing your physical, your vessel, right? And so, yeah, you know, the Star card, I mean, all of those things, it would obviously depend on your situation. But like I said, you know, pulling those manifestations down out of the ethers and really making tangible steps towards them to bring it into the physical plane where we get to exist. Chariot card, this is moving forward quickly, and it's almost like being divinely guided. Because again, like I was saying with this Fool card, right? Like once this process starts, you can't really stop the momentum. And the Chariot is going to take you exactly where you need to go. This is Cancer. So, you know, I'm just pointing it out. It doesn't necessarily have, you don't necessarily have to have these signs or be one of them. The Queen of Pentacles, I believe, is Capricorn. The Moon is Pisces also. So even if like the High Priestess isn't Pisces, which I believe that it is, here's Pisces. Like, yeah, no, I'm here. And the Moon talks about the unknown. It's the subconscious. It's, you know, it could even be secrets. It could just be keeping your eye on the prize also. You know, like I heard that the other day, and I loved that the Moon is associated, you know, when the Moon comes up, it's this reminder to keep your eye on the prize. Remember why you're doing what you're doing so that you don't get lost in the weeds. Because the Moon will almost, it's like a blind side, or it could even be, you know, those stories that live in our subconscious that come up, and self-sabotage, right? But there's this opportunity here to get past those. Beautiful. Yeah, we have the Five of Swords behind there. This is that mental, pretty much exactly what I was just saying, like, you know, just kind of really having to reframe the way that you think about what you deserve, or how you're going to do it, or whatever the case may be. Because swords having to do with our mental process, you know, it has a lot to do with ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. So, you know, just not getting lost in the weeds, not letting some old shit hold you back, because it will try. It absolutely will try. And then we have the King of Wands behind there, which is, you know, leadership, freedom, like creative freedom, authority. I mean, I could keep going. I'm not going to, because this will be like 5 hours long. I am, though, going to leave it there. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Bye.